Peace and blessings. Father Augustino here, and today is Holy Thursday. Thursday has traditionally been the day where we give increased honor and adoration to the Blessed Sacrament. In a lot of parishes, this is the day where they would have all-day adoration if they don't have perpetual adoration. This is the day when Jesus instituted the Eucharist. That's one of the mysteries of the Illuminous Mysteries. And today is the day, and it's absolutely fascinating. The Mass of the Lord's Supper is always celebrated in the evening. So this evening, priests everywhere will be celebrating the Mass of the Lord's Supper. And it's a special liturgy that's going to have a couple of changes because of the times that we're living in. But nonetheless, I'll go through it very briefly so you can get an understanding of it. The Mass begins somewhat normally. And then soon enough, after the Gospel from John chapter 13, there is the optional washing of the feet, where Jesus got on his hands and his knees and washed the feet of the apostles. And Peter famously says, "You're not going to wash my feet." And Jesus said, "If you won't let me wash your feet, then you can't be saved." And Peter says, "No, then don't just wash my feet, but my hands as well, and everything." I'd be like, "Jesus, wash everything." Do anything. And then after that, Mass as usual, and after communion, usually the Blessed Sacrament is left on the altar, and then there's a procession to the altar of reposition. It's usually kind of like a different place, maybe a different chapel, where the Blessed Sacrament would be reserved. And it's meant to symbolize how Jesus, after the Eucharist, after the Last Supper, he went off to Gethsemane and prayed. And that's when he said, "Could you not pray with me 1 hour?" to his disciples. In a lot of different places, there's the tradition of going to 3 different churches and viewing their altar of reposition or their chapel. And a lot of times the prayer groups would have different turns. Sometimes, some places, they would give you blessed bread. So families after the Mass would go and eat at home and then walk back to church and then just pray. Usually around till midnight, most churches would stay open. Now, because of what's happening today, in this day and age, a lot of things are changed. There won't be a washing of the feet in this liturgy, and there won't be a procession. The Blessed Sacrament will just be taken back to the tabernacles of the churches. But if we get a little creative, what if we, after viewing perhaps the Pope's Mass of the Lord's Supper from the Vatican or your local parish, you read with your family the Gospel from John chapter 13, and then you wash each other's feet. Just get a bucket of water and form a circle, and everyone take off your shoes and your socks, and then just with a cloth, just wash their feet, and then that person takes the bucket and washes the other person's feet. And if you're all by yourself, well, you have any teddy bears or saints? Put all your saints and then just wash their feet little by little. Let me tell you what, whatever we do, God's going to receive. And even though there won't be a procession, a Eucharistic procession, maybe we can read all together the beautiful, timeless lyrics of the Pange Lingua. The Tantum Ergo is part of the Pange Lingua, which is this glorious hymn written by St. Thomas Aquinas. And maybe we process around the house saying Pange Lingua Gloriosi. If you don't know the tune, then just read it in English so that we may honor, adore, and love in our homes the great gift of the Holy Eucharist. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace and blessings.